Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous... The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And normally in this spot, we talk about passing numbers from last week, but this time, it's all about the rushing. 3 times he found the end zone in his last ball game. He is a do-everything quarterback, and you have to expect we'll see him call his own number here as well.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. And this one is incomplete. 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to look deep for more. And this one incomplete. A 50-50 ball in the end, nearly intercepted. And now it's 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So now here are the Bears with excellent field position to start off. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
A pass there over the middle to start things out.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20 because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Raekwon Davis able to drop him for a loss of a couple. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head. 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw here. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll come out in the pistol. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A big win there defensively on 2nd and goal. A loss of 7, and it brings up 3rd.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? He'll look to throw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Miami set to take over. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Onto the field now come the Bears. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's the tight end, Jesper Horsted. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now back to throw. And Thomas has it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Final 30 seconds of this 1st quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Nothing the score after 1 on EA Sports. Back to throw again. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Jordan Thomas. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Anderson. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pass.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Janoris Robinson in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 35-yard line. A play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They'll look to throw again. And he slings one that's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
And his kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10.
I got you. Mike 7.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Mike 7. Watch twist.
They're going to look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Hey, check Mike 11. Check Mike 11.
They'll look to throw here.
Twist, watch the twist.
Eluding, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Check Mike 11.
Thomas has got it. Complete. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
What are you doing? You can't get past.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go. Let's go.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
All day, baby. All day. All day, baby.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. That catch good for only a yard, and it will be 3rd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he gets it down to the 32.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Watch 18, 18.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long.
Hey, we got three, three down.
Now this one complete on the slant route. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 42.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And this is going to be incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it, and they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Thomas. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On On first down, he'll drop to throw. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him. But instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now this throw caught left side, and he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And his throw here's incomplete. 3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. The Chicago offense set to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Dolphins offense returning to the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Looking to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Again, he finds Moore. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. They'll look to throw here on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, a strip. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Ballpark, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense, and they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants a football in his hands. He's had a good day. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Here we go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 2 times. 4 down, 4 go.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Raekwon Davis picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
Hey, check Mike 11.
They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold.
Mike 18, Mike 18.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll get this to his running back, Dokes. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd and 2. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down, a pretty anemic, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
18. Hey, come on, oh, come on, oh. Watch 18. 18's the... Let him know, let him know.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
He'll look to throw. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Let's get in there. Ready? 18's the Mike. Here we go, here we go. Mike 18, Mike 18.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it would appear that the open week a week ago came just at the right time as they have dominated the proceedings here into this 4th quarter. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 92 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Bears, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Miami, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.